So we're going to be checking out this pretty unique smart temperature and humidity kit. As you can see, there's actually a solar panel on here that uses the ambient light to charge the device and keep it charged. So it'll be really interesting to see. I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm actually going to be putting it in a refrigerator where it's not going to have light all the time, and I want to see how it really works. Full disclosure, Mirror sent this to me free of charge, but as always, I'm going to give you an honest review. So the good, bad, ugly, and really put it through its paces and let you know if there's any pitfalls here before you purchase it. So let's get this opened up. So we have the normal instructions and Apple Home instructions. We have the device. Let me get this out of the way first. We have the device and has the please tear off the film before using. Always love that sound. And has the ambient light collection on there, the control unit, so a little hub, and then it feels like there's a power supply in here. Let's get this opened up. Yep, definitely a power supply. And we have a 3M from the back of the unit. And there's a cord in here as well. I thought there should be. And this would be for the hub here. So let's get this hooked up and I'll show you what that's like and let you know how it's working. So the next step is to get the hub plugged in. First thing I notice is look how short this cord is. I don't know, maybe like 9 inches or so. Definitely really, really short and something that you might want to consider. You could have to get a micro USB here and get a longer cable. It is just USB-A on the other side, so it's pretty versatile there, but really short. Not sure why. So I'm gonna get this plugged in, and I'm gonna grab the iPad and get into the app here. So the next step is to go into the Meross app. So open that up and go into Add Device, and we're looking for the Smart Sensor, and it's the MS100F is what we have here. And I have the MSH300 with the power button on it. So it says install the hub first and install it. And let's see if we have a blinking light. And we do. It looks like it's, flashing back and forth like that. We can go next. And we have the HomeKit version. And we need to allow. And in the Home app, the Apple Home app, I can add this device. So add an accessory. And it wants me to scan the code. So we'll go ahead and scan the code. And we'll add this bridge to our home. The light on the bridge is green now, but it still says taking, may take a few minutes. All right. Took a little while, but we got there. Some stuff for now. We'll fix it later. So I'm going to go into Apple Home here and delete the integration and then see if I can go over to Home Assistant and add that in. And the reason you do it in HomeKit first is to pair it with your Wi-Fi, and then once you do, you delete it from there, and you come back to Home Assistant, and immediately you can see, it's discovered, and I can configure it. So I can hit Configure here, and use the pairing code here, and as easy as that, it paired the hub. Now what I'm going to do is pair the sensor to the hub. So I'm going to put it in pairing mode by pressing in the little hole and pressing the button. Had to press it twice to get the button in the hub in pairing mode, and it seems like they've connected because the green light becomes solid. So I had this in the refrigerator to try to get down to temp. So I'm going to stick it back in the refrigerator. So here in the refrigerator, you can see we already have another sensor. I'm going to place this one right beside the other sensor and see what kind of readings we can get and compare the two, because we've historically monitored the temperature of the refrigerator to make sure if it got too high that we were aware, and if it stayed too high, we were aware, so we could discard the food there. But that's just a motion sensor. That's an old Iris brand. Then the new Meross temperature and humidity sensor on the right. When I come back over to Home Assistant, I can see immediately there's two devices now under this integration, and I can just go into my Meross devices and immediately see the temperature and humidity sensor. And you can see the humidity is reporting at 61% and the temperature at 56. So hasn't been in the refrigerator very long, so it probably has to cool down to the appropriate temperature there. So I'll give it a little bit of time and then we'll check back and see how that compares to the iris sensor that's been in the refrigerator for probably a few months or years at this point. And you can see here that we have the devices sitting beside each other, and the mirrors is showing 39 degrees, as you can see on the iPad screen in Home Assistant. And the old Iris brand is showing 35.4 degrees. Definitely, I think that the Mirrors is the closer option because the fridge is set at 37 and I have the door and stuff open too. So I think Mirrors is doing a far superior job of having the accurate temperature sensor there. So one other item of note is that it doesn't show the battery percentage here within Home Assistant. So I'm not sure if you used mirrors directly, if you'd see the battery percentage or not. I know with the solar panel type setup on it, that it's designed to continuously charge and everything. I'm probably not using it in an ideal situation in the refrigerator, but I just wanted to compare it to something that we were currently using and think about how that would work for us and see, how it worked. I will say that immediately, after having the door open for a couple minutes, the temperature sensor changed, and that's been an issue that I had with some of our other sensors. Is there's a huge delay on when they changed. I think it, just takes them a lot of time to adjust to the new temperatures, but the mirrors is much quicker on that aspect. So I think it's more accurate and quicker and better as far as providing that information. The negatives are that you need to be able to monitor or charge the device from solar or some type of light, emitting source, whether it's lights inside or external lights, outdoor lights, and you need the bridge. So the bridge is definitely a negative as well to me, but if you have a bridge and then have a bunch of devices set up, then the bridge gets allocated across those devices, and it's not that big of a deal. And I don't think the price is much different when you step up to the bridge for with the temperature and humidity sensor compared to just the temperature and humidity sensor. So having that one device where you step up to the bridge, the cost isn't really that much. So my final thoughts. Definitely if I was in the market for a temperature humidity sensor somewhere that there's light, I would be looking at this one as a good option because I think it's more accurate and quicker response times than some of the other devices that are, auxiliary items. So the device that I have in the refrigerator from Iris, that's actually a motion sensor that also provides the temperature, and I believe that one has humidity too. Some of them did and some of them didn't, but I think that one does. So in that instance, it's a situation where if you're really looking for the accuracy and the quick response times, the Mirrors is definitely the way to go. If you already have something that's working, or if you have a situation like I was using here where it's not going to have probably that much light, this might not be the best option for you. But again, I wanted to give you a fair and accurate review of the product and let you know my thoughts and when it's appropriate for you and when it's maybe not appropriate for you. So make sure you like and subscribe as we go into some more automations coming up and other product reviews.